Do you know what intuition means? It affects your life immensely. Let's discuss how to use intuition to make decisions. My spidey senses are tingling. Have you thought about the process of decision making? How we tend to lean towards the certain outcome almost immediately, and even if we don't make up our minds on the spot, we very seldom change our opinions. That comes from, first and foremost, trusting our own beliefs and following self-guidance as the number one source of wisdom. The pattern of making emotional decisions and using logic and reasoning to justify them is quite common for the majority. Self-awareness, being a rare trait, is what makes you to understand those decisions on a deeper level. Mastering awareness in combination with intuition will grant you a huge advantage in being proactive within many areas of your life. But more about this later. Intuition is absorbing large amount of information and processing it subconsciously to result in a relatively quick feedback on how to react. It's like a mathematical software where you type in advanced formulas and getting an end result very fast without seeing any back-end calculations. I have been consistently referring to my early days on this planet, and that is because I have done an extensive self-analysis to get a clear picture of what this body stands for. We need history to teach us of what works for us and what not to do. Scanning previous experiences, putting them apart like a puzzle picture, and understanding what each piece stands for is what ultimately leads to a life knowledge. As I was saying, childhood is the most impressionable period of a human's life. During preparation for this video, I come to think about the film called Boyhood. You can check it out if you want to. I mean, not exactly like that, implement some changes here and there, and I could see myself having the main role. I didn't have abusive parents in that way, but I pretty much was always in touch with my true self. When I say in touch, I mean emotionally truthful to myself. And when I say emotionally, it's because I didn't understand the majority of the rational reasoning of what was and why was. That's where intuition comes into the picture. Being emotionally truthful to myself made me prioritize my own well-being. In a way, I was selfish and didn't take myself for granted. Of course, now I understand that it isn't egocentric to nurture your own soul before stretching a helping hand. We have to feel in peace with ourselves before practicing virtue. I guess it came natural to me, having an avoidant attitude. It's a term that I briefly mentioned in the video on neediness, which basically refers to a person's attachment nature. I didn't let many people come too near myself. I was very picky in people I trusted. I had to click on a deeper level in order to establish a bond. Not that I was 100% successful in my selectiveness, but life is an eternal lesson. I'm not sure if I could classify myself as being introvert or extrovert. I should probably make a video about that. Those two types are cyclical and personality can shift several times during the life. Let me know if you would be interested in this topic. Anyhow, because of me being keen on spending time on my own, even if it was under involuntary circumstances quite often, I cultivated my observant nature and had to trust myself to a higher degree, because I had very few authorities above me growing up. I thought, if no one cares, the hell with them. I'ma be my own boss. You can imagine the kind of rebels that attitude created. It's like I was torn between two worlds. I had relatively good self-esteem and believed in my own abilities. During my early days within academia, did my best under many years, but at the same time, I started to resent that conformity style of living. I received a lot of negative feedback right around the time my voice started to break. By the way, I was always teased by my uncle. Cock-a-doodle-doo. What am I supposed to do with you? It's the fourth time you're changing your school. And the director refuses to accept you. You are failing all your physics exams. And most certainly, you won't be accepted to any higher academia. You know that you're getting by because of your older merits. You have to put the work in if you want to achieve something in life. Will you ever graduate from at least one academical institution? Now, having a better understanding of societal structures and human behavior, contemporary and biological predispositions, I'm smiling at those memories. You know why? Intuition! An internal echo, summation of all my emotions, culminating in one single sensation, leading up to very important decision makings. That's what intuition is. Every decision shapes the life that you are experiencing right now, in the present moment. The thing with decisions is that the previous one leads up to current one. My intuition was guiding me in taking actions that would eventually lead to experiencing a joyful life, subconsciously of course. Intuition helped me to cultivate integrity, and with that, being truthful to biological appearances of this body, masculinity. Everything in life occurs by the principle of non-duality, two sides of the same coin. Even if on a deeper level we are the same consciousness, intelligence that tries to expand in the universe, domain of being, we cannot deny our biological nature either, domain of doing. Being is what I am. Doing is what this body represents in a physical form, and how to navigate it through life. Biological nature makes masculinity rebellious, exploring, solution-oriented, discovering, finding its own path. And I feel lucky to know what that implies in a gender-confused world that we're experiencing now. Intuition is ever-evolving trait, as it's formed based on your knowledge bank and your past experiences. It has been a tremendous asset to me, even if I didn't ponder on the process itself. That being said, your survival mechanisms can be built upon wrongful assumptions, conclusions. If you're bitter and have a negative attitude towards life and everything else that it embodies, intuition will lead you deeper into the pit of darkness. It's like that episode from Seinfeld called The Opposite, where George Costanza changes his belief system by doing total opposite of what he was used to do.
My name is George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents.
I'm Victoria. Hi.
From that moment on, everything he encounters turns out to be positive and prosperous, finding beautiful women, getting a good job, and other stuff. There may occur confusion for terms fear and intuition. Fear is an instant emotional reaction, whereas intuition comes from still mind without any pressure of some sort. So what does this all mean? Intuition gives you a chance to acknowledge righteous things and improves your decision making in a faster way. But it will be only a dependent resource. If you are truthful with yourself, don't let your ego stand in your way, and have an overall good self-awareness. Become your own best friend, and intuition will be your lifelong supporter. What is your opinion on intuition, and how has it affected your life? Maybe you have other questions. Let's discuss. Hossein out.